Hey folks, I have a 35D 2010 turbo diesel, and I wanted to give you my feedback about replacing the glow plugs. Everything was going well with number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and number 6 glow plug. Unfortunately, the tip got stuck in the cylinder head. As this is a common issue with most diesels, there is a way to remove the tip without making holes in the cylinder head, or especially what I got quoted about $4,200 in removing the entire head off and getting the tip out of the cylinder head. So I wanted to share my feedback with you and the actual tool that I designed. It's quite simple and inexpensive, that I was able to actually extract the stock glow plug tip, which broke off a couple days ago, and I've been doing a lot of research on how to get it out of the head without actually spending that $4 grand, which I was quoted, not by the dealer, by a third party shop. And so what I did find out is that there is an easier way than using, basically you can use a magnet or any different type of fishing method that you can design to extract the tip. But first you got to push the tip down into the hole. So it would use a screwdriver or a long tool that you can actually push the tip down. Once you push the tip down, trying to extract it from this hole, the glow plug hole, it's actually quite impossible. I spent almost an hour trying to get that out of there, and without success. So what I thought about is that since we have the injectors directly right here, that's number 5, they go in directly into the cylinder head and the specific cylinder, and it's basically a straight 90-degree down. I was able to remove the injector, and I used a tool to extract the tip once it was inside, and it literally took me no more than 15 seconds once I went in to extract it. So you don't have to pay $4,000 to take the head off. Try this method first before you spend any more money on this engine. It's a very complicated engine, and it requires a lot of patience and concentration to get anything you do on it. Everything is crumbled, and there's a lot of vacuum lines, so make sure you mark everything before you get this far. So I will show you, this is Leo, he's my Doberman. I will show you the tools that I've actually used, get out of here boy, to extract the glow plug tip. This is the glow plug tip, and apparently broke on number 6. I pulled 5 of them out without an issue. Number 6, it broke inside. So the first thing you may need, but after getting the job done, I believe you may not need it. It's the real inspection scope, or any other type of scope that you can use that has a camera, light, and you can get in the hole. Unfortunately, the tip of the injector is thinner, so I wasn't able to get it all the way in. So it was I only used it as a light source, so you can skip that part, definitely. The next thing is you can use to get the injector out. You don't have to buy any specific BMW or other tools to extract the injector out. All we use is this is actually from an F-150 that I had before. It's a transmission line that I've cut out, and so I've used this, and it screws in perfectly. I used it as a hook to pull the injector out of the head. It just took a little bit of a force, but it wasn't difficult. Be careful with removing the actual diesel, the low pressure diesel line that goes from one to another. This is very easy to crack. You don't want to crack that. Each one of these costs close to $400 or $500. So I've purchased brand new 6 glow plugs. These are actually Italian made, and I didn't want to go with Bosch. I heard that Bosch uses a thinner metal on the tips, which actually gets basically caked on and easier to crack. So I went ahead with these Italian glow plugs. They were actually cheaper. They cost me about $30 a piece versus the Bosch, which were close to, I want to say 80 a piece, maybe a dealer even more. The next thing you're going to need is some heat shrink tubing. I use the medium kind, but you can use any other that fits the need that you need it for. So I used the fishing method, and I basically designed this to use the heat shrink wrapping and a small magnet. As you can tell, it's quite small. The tip is slightly larger than the glow plug, but again, remember, I'm not going to the glow plug hole since it's much smaller. You want to go to the injector hole, which is on the top of the head. So I was able to extract the tip through that hole without any issues. As you can tell, the magnet is quite strong, and I can even leave the entire glow plug out. So this method only took me about 15 minutes to extract the tip. It was very easy. I had no complications whatsoever, but trying to extract it from the glow plug hole was mission impossible. I spent about 2 hours and it didn't work out. Next thing you definitely want to get is some anti-seize lubricant. Make sure you apply it on the tread of the new glow plugs and make sure it's aluminum proof. So this is the Permatex that I've used, and it works great. If you guys want to get the same glow plugs as well, this is the brand. You can search it on Google, and it was fairly inexpensive for all 6 of them versus the Bosch ones. So this is all the tools that I actually had to make to get this process done. I recommend you go ahead and replace your glow plugs at about 80,000 miles. If you've hit that bracket, you have a chance of breaking the glow plug. No matter what you do, there's no foolproof way of getting it out without the tip getting stuck in the glow plug hole. As you can tell, how much carbon built up on that tip. It was basically getting stuck to the glow plug hole. So I hope this video can assist you in removing a broken tip. And if you have any questions, go ahead and send me an email. I will probably go ahead and replace the glow plug controller, which sits right under these holes here, and I will start back up with the intake and finish this. I've had the head open here with the intake for about 3 days now. I was freaking out with the tip stuck in the head. I made some calls and I get some quotes. They're unbelievable, and I was not ready to pay $4,000 to $5,000 to remove the head, not to mention the parts involved in resurfacing the head and getting a new head gasket set and all of that. So definitely use the injector hole to extract the broken tip. If you have any questions, go ahead and contact me. I hope this was helpful. You all have a good one.